Do it.
Why?
Please.
Previously on Abbey of Pellinor.
Hey folks, it's Abby, and today I have something a little different, which is a Waypoint Book Box unboxing. The book that I picked is Chilling Effect by Valerie Valdes. She sent me Jade City by Fonda. I'm doing a read book. So, let's read those books.
Enjoying the peace found in that space between the hours considered late and those considered early. He ignored the front door and climbed up a fire escape to the 5th floor. There was a light on in the apartment. The window was unlatched and cracked wide open because of the heat. Gila let himself in, swinging his legs across the chipped sill and treading silently.
So I am not feeling great, hence being laid in bed. But I thought I would use this chance to give you a little catch-up into the books that I'm reading. I am listening to this by audiobook, and I really do, at some point, hopefully Saturday and Sunday, need to actually read this physically. I always tend to feel a bit more of a disconnect when I read something via audiobook, and I'm feeling that a little bit with this. It's weirdly macho, misogynistic, which didn't expect from a female author, but like intentionally so. And I've seen that it's apparently been compared to The Godfather. I don't watch things, I've never seen The Godfather. But yeah, so I'm not quite sure on this yet. We do have a female character who I am looking forward to learning more about, and I'm hoping that she'll come more into the fore of this, because I'm really just not that interested in the dick swinging contest. The world is interesting, the concept of the jade is really interesting, the politics itself is interesting. I just don't care about the dick swinging. I listen to it just 2 hours of it a day roughly when I'm at work. That's why Saturday and Sunday I'll still want to read 50 pages, which is roughly 2 hours of the audiobook. I also want to try and read 50 pages on Saturday and 50 on Sunday, so I will then read 100 pages of it physically and hopefully have a better feel for this book and the characters. So that should hopefully be a nice mismatch. My brain isn't working. I'm both enjoying it and not. Like, it's really well written, there's a lot going on, I'm liking the background, some of the characters are really interesting, like the head of the clan. I enjoy his point of view and like learning more about him, but it just the too much penis, man, and not in the good way either. And then we have, what is the point in me holding this up? Chilling Effect by Valerie Valdes. I am enjoying this, but I am struggling with it. The actual book itself is really fun. I'm really enjoying it. It's very much giving me similar vibes to Murder Bop. Just similar in the vibes, like the characters are totally different. Space, escapades, stupid jokes, lots of swearing. I love it. And I'm really enjoying that. But I will say, and this is not a fault of the author or the book or anything, it is a fault with myself, and that is that there's quite a lot of phrases in here sprinkled in Spanish. The author is Cuban American, so she's just putting in stuff that is how she is writing a story. The problem is my entire language learning situation is Germanic. I don't know any Spanish whatsoever. I know hola, and I know mi casa e tu casa. I don't know, bro. And you can't even just shove them into Google Translate. So this one is, excuse my accent again, Germanic. Me cago en diez, which apparently directly translates to I shit in 10, which obviously directly translated means fucking nothing, if that is the correct direct translation. It was Google. But then I put it into Google and was like, what's the meaning of it? And that's essentially, according to the internet, like bloody hell in Cuban Spanish. So like I would not have got that from anything. Like I don't know Spanish at all, so there's lots of things like that. Some of them are fine, I can figure out, you know, Madre de Dios, I can tell you're saying Mother of God, I'm not that dumb. There's one bit here, tirar pesos más alto que el culo, which is throw farts higher than the arse. Like, I need that in my life, okay? You can't not give me that. So yes, just heads up to anybody who doesn't speak Spanish or has never studied any sort of similar language, is that it is a bit difficult to then read this. This book is a space opera, and so there's also a lot of words in here that are made up. And I sometimes can't tell if it's made up or if it's Spanish, because that's how low my knowledge of Spanish is. I'm struggling. The actual book is great. It's very slow going because I'm having to translate stuff consistently and sit on my phone with my little sticky notes. I didn't have to do the sticky notes, but like I do for my own brain for me to actually get it. And I'm debating whether or not to continue the sticky note method, or whether I should just ignore the Spanish bits, but I don't like that method, because even though I'll probably enjoy the book more, because I don't have to kind of like stop and take myself out the story and get the phone out and type it and and so it will be more enjoyable, but I'm not getting the full experience. It's really annoying me. It's really bothering me that this is a problem for me. Again, nothing to do with the author whatsoever. This is entirely an Abby problem. Like, you know, but yeah, it's like I really want the full experience that the author intends, but that full experience is really not intended for me, and so I'm struggling to get it. But yes, the actual story that's in here so far is interesting. 50 pages in, there's not too much to do with the cats. I'm looking forward to more to do with the cats. But we do have space station escapades and death and someone wanting our main character to join his harem because he wants to fuck her. You see why I'm enjoying it? Like, So yeah, this is really funny and silly, and I'm having a good time. Now, as I said, I'm in a lot of pain, and I'm not feeling well, and I'm going out to a pub quiz this evening, so I am going to nap. So I probably won't read anything tonight. Oh well, I'll catch you later. Just hiding various different work things because I'm on my lunch break now. And yeah, the lock screen will show stuff as well. But a little update for you all. I have read and finished Jade City by Fonda. Unfortunately, this is the lowest book ever out of anything Hannah has ever recommended me, and it is not Hannah's fault in the slightest. Not even close. I was hyped for this book. I was the one who was like, oh my god, I think I'm gonna love this. I didn't dislike it, I just didn't love it. I am still very tempted to continue with the series. Still think I'll pick the rest of the series up. But it was... remembering that this is written by a female author, it is a lot more misogynistic than I had expected. Now don't get me wrong, it would have been helpful if I'd understood the references that people were making with this. So people were saying it's like The Godfather, people are saying it is like Hong Kong gangster films. I don't watch movies, so these references were not helpful to me in the slightest. So was quite surprised with how sexist the book was. I've just never read something so sexist from a female author, like in the modern day. It also, like, it wasn't ridiculously sexist, it was just like a very sexist world. So she's done the world building very well. Like, it was just weird to read. I'm not saying that she did it wrong at all. Like, that totally works with what she's going for with the Hong Kong gangster films, with the Godfather vibes that she's looking for. Like, she's built this world up perfectly. It matches those vibes perfectly. Like, Italian mafia, Hong Kong gangster, like, yes, 100%. I just wasn't expecting it, you know? You know? It was just a lot of men waving their dicks about. I just don't think this was for me. Unfortunately, not this first book. The entire series might be, but this first book was not for me, which is sad. This is just too much, like, men waving their dicks about, thinking they're hard, thinking they're stronger than everyone else. Like, that whole vibe. It does set up some really interesting premises, so I am very much looking forward to seeing what happens with a lot of these characters as we go on into the next books. I had thought going into this that the Jade was going to be able to be used by people who couldn't. I thought it was like a blood thing, and that people who couldn't use Jade were going to be able to use this drug and be able to use Jade. That's not the case, but it is pretty much limited to just one country in this world, and so I am wondering if in the following books it will kind of spread into other countries and be a bigger thing in other countries than the edge cases that it is now, and how that might impact the family that we're following. I think that the discussions that I had in here are really well done, but also the discussions on addiction I thought were done very well. I love that we have a character that kind of focuses around that. It was a good book and I did enjoy it. I don't think it helped it that I read it via audiobook rather than reading it physically. I read like 120 pages physically. So I think this may have been a high 3 rather than a mid to low 3 if I'd read it physically. I'm still intending to carry on with the series. I still want to read more from Fonda. I still intend to read this trilogy. It's not the best book I've ever read, unfortunately, which a lot of Hannah's recommendations have been. So for Hannah, and like her recommendations to me, this is a letdown, even though it's a really good book that I have a lot of positives to say about. So that tells you how good Hannah's recommendations usually are, and she will have been heavily influenced on this by the fact that I kept going on about how I wanted to read it. So now I just have Chilling Effect to read. My reading has gone to fucking shit. My reading has gone to absolute shit. So this month I'm making my TBR very, very limited, and I am just reading through Chilling Effect as and when I can. Hannah genuinely cares about my mental health, and that I have been just not great lately. So I'm reminding myself that that's fine. I'm going to take it slowly. I do want to try and motivate myself into picking it up again because I've been putting it off because I have to sit and translate loads of it. Not even loads of it, but compared to, you know, reading an English book, I have to actually slow down, okay? I have to actually slow down. When I'm then in a slump and then I'm reading something that's making me slow down, it wasn't helping. But I think when I kind of get back into the swing of things with this much more pared down TBR that I'm planning on having in August, I'll be able to make a bigger dent in it in the evening and just sit and read bits. Might even do like what I do with my classics and just read like a chapter or 2 each night and just make my way through it. Like I've said before, I've not touched it in ages, but I am enjoying it. It's a really good book. It's just the fact that I can't just whiz through it if I want to get the full meaning out of it that is putting me off from picking it up whilst I'm slumping. Yay. So yes, now I'm going to go and delete this purple thing that I put on my screen to hide stuff from work, and get back to work because this was my lunch break. A 4-star read, and that is Jade City by Fonda. So much of this book is just men swinging their dicks about, trying to pretend that they've got a bigger dick than anybody else, when in reality they're all just idiots. In this world, Jade, the stone, gives certain people essentially magical powers. They get extra strength, extra endurance, extra fighting ability, and so there are different gangs in this city of Janloon who compete to control more of the area, and the fighters of the gang have this Jade. I was hoping for more of the politics of the Jade, not the politics of the gangs that control the Jade. And I know that that makes no sense, but it's like a very fine distinction, and that's why I was expecting. It sat with me. It's still in my head. I'm still interested in where the series goes. I do think it's going to be a great jumping off point for the series. Still haven't finished this. I'm working on it. However, I bought a copy. Eleanor came down for, well, I was going to say for the day, but it's been like for 4 days.
Yes.
So of course we're picking it up when she was in York. And yeah, I haven't finished it, but I've sold another copy of the book.
I've been influenced, so that has to count for something.
It's really good. It's really fun. And it's got cats. Cats.
Sold.
Precisely. Okay, it's wrap-up time. I finally finished Chilling Effect. I know, it took me forever, okay? I'm fully aware it took me forever. Also, I can't see. There we go. Very, very long time to get through this. I really, really enjoyed it. So I think I mentioned in one of the clips, it was so long ago that I'm not entirely sure, that I was really struggling with the Spanish that was interspersed throughout here. Just, I have no knowledge of the Romance languages, so it wasn't something that I could kind of infer the meaning for most of the words, and it was just trying to translate it is what I was originally doing by putting little post-it notes, little clay post-its with the translation. That was not the best idea. When I was in a reading slump, it was making me not want to pick it up. It was too much effort to go to that extra mile of having to sit there and try and type it out on my phone and then write it down, and it was just not a good idea, so I just stopped. And the thing that really got me back into it was reading it on the plane home. from my holiday because I didn't want to put it down. I didn't want the flight to end, so that was a good sign. I didn't read it, unfortunately, on the train from Manchester to York, even though that took longer than the flight from Copenhagen to Manchester. Thank you, British train system. I didn't read it there because I was too tired, but as soon as I like recovered from the holiday, I was just reading this every day. It is so much fun. I feel like it's got a similar audience to Murderbot in that the world building is done in a very similar way. Like, you don't get this overarching world building, you just kind of make some assumptions and then it'll clarify certain points from there. And on top of that, it has a mixture of serious moments where people's lives are at risk and also stupid humour. Not the same way as the Murderbot humour. The Murderbot humour, in my opinion, is very neurodivergent coded. This is more just dumb, funny humour. Both are great. I adore both. Murderbot is one of my favourite series. So different type of humour, but still enjoyable. And then obviously space. And of course the cats. There was not enough cat. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I really wanted more cat. I think from the way that it's been set up, it looks as though there's going to be more cat as the books go on. They were just kind of like a presence in the background. And I think that it's more secure now that they have like a base to go from in the stories. So the cats should be there in the base. And then we can get some more cat action, because deeply, deeply want more from the cats in this. Because the very little that we did get was really funny. But yeah, this was so good. Once again, Hannah knocked it out of the park with a fantastic recommendation. I really don't know why I don't trust her, just implicitly. Like, I do, but also like I'll see a book and I'm like, Like, for example, if you want to see my third and final for the rep side of things, Waypoint haul, I got Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. My face when I opened this, like, Hannah was surprised at my face. I 100%, without Hannah's recommendation, would be like, why the hell have you given this to me? Like, if it was anyone else, I'd be like, that doesn't seem like my sort of thing whatsoever. No. But Hannah's given me it, and like, she's not let me down once, so yeah, I'm having a really good time with this. I also don't know where I've put Jade City, but that was a good book. Where is it? Where do you live? Oh god, my shelves are so tight. Oh, that's what she said. These are the two books that I got in my very first Waypoint Books Full Moon box, and I loved them both. This one, Hannah gave it to me, I'm pretty sure because I was the one that harped on about it so much and was like really excited to read it. Was very surprised by the content within it and didn't expect it to be how it was. It's very much The Godfather, a lot more sexist than I had been anticipating from a book written by a woman. But I did really enjoy it. Like, now that I've had time to like let it settle and let it sink in, this was a really great book. And then this one, I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to pick up this whole series. It's so much fun. And I even enjoyed the romance. Is anyone surprised? I said at the beginning of this, I'm pretty sure, that I was expecting to have a fantastic time with these two books because Hannah does an amazing job at picking books. I really did. These are absolutely fantastic. I am very, very excited. I have just started, it's downstairs, Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. I'm buddy reading that with Eleanor, and so far we are 200 pages in, and again, I'm really enjoying that. So, like, Waypoint hits it out of the park every single time. Once I've decided that I'm slightly less mentally unstable about my TBR, I'm going to sign back up, because, like, every single book is a win. Every single book is a win. So yes, I'm really excited to read the other books that I have in the following book boxes that I got. I'm really looking forward to delving into all of those, because in each of them there is one book in each that I wouldn't have thought that would get recommended to me. I think I'm going to love them. Maybe I'll just have to do some more vlogs and we will see. Thank you so much if you have gotten all the way to the end of this potentially very long vlog. I've just been filming bits and pieces over the past 3-4 months. as I've been reading these, so I imagine this has gotten quite long now. If you are now interested and want to sign up for a Waypoint Books Full Moon box or Half Moon box yourself, then you can use my code ABBYFM23 and it will get you 30% off of your first box. I highly recommend it. So not only is this, if you're like me, based in Britain, a British book box, it's an England-based book box, it's also an indie shop, and Hannah is just amazing. If you haven't watched the videos from Letter M, that is her channel. That will be linked down below. You need to go and subscribe to her as well. But honestly, the recommendations are done so well. Obviously, for me, for example, Hannah does have some more information to pull from because I am so public and so online with my books. However, she is fantastic at recommending people books just purely from like a discussion, but then also if you're able to give her something like your Storygraph or your Goodreads or a spreadsheet, then she is able to really niche down and hone down exactly what kind of books you will like. And if you've read enough books that you need that niching, you probably have some way of tracking all the books that you've read and all the ratings that you've given them. So, highly recommend. It's such a fantastic service. I'm so excited to sign up to it myself. I'm really buzzing. So look out in the next few months for those hauls coming from me anyway. I will check with Hannah and see if the code stays live or not for the later on ones, because if it does, then I will just mention the code every time and then you can use it for your first box. But yes, these were great. Nobody is surprised. They are both the first books in series. God damn you, Hannah. I now need to read all of this and all of this. I think I will probably get to this one faster, because not only is it shorter, but it's also like more light-hearted than the Godfather-esque vibes that are in this one. But regardless, I want to read them both. I am going to shut up now. Thank you for watching. If you want to see me read the other books that were in my other 2 Waypoint unboxings, then hit subscribe and you might see vlogs for them in the future. And thank you so much for watching, folks. Catch you in the next one. Bye!